Hi YouTube, it's Jonathan at the Piano Lesson. Today is Memorial Day, so when you see this, it won't be Memorial Day, but Memorial Day, for you, those of you who get confused with all these holidays, because you got to look them up a little bit, but Memorial Day, we honor those Americans that have fallen in battle while serving in the U.S. military, as opposed to Veterans Day, as opposed to Easter, right? No, but that's why we have Memorial Day sales, so that we can buy mattresses at a discount to keep America free. I don't know, but I had a nice time today. This is actually towards the end of my Memorial Day, when we had a nice little barbecue and sang patriotic songs. And I really don't necessarily know that many patriotic songs, although they're quite interesting. I'm very interested in actually Civil War songs. I think Civil War songs are quite interesting. Glory, Glory, Hallelujah is a real interesting song, based on the song John Brown's Body. John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave. That was the melody that it was based on. Let me just look this up a little bit. He was an abolitionist, John Brown. So very interesting, very interesting. There's so much information on YouTube. And maybe if we get around to it, we'll talk a little bit about music too. It is so I like Glory Hallelujah. Let's just see what key. So that's just an arpeggio, right? You know who plays that tune? One of my favorite pianists is Monty Alexander. He does a great job with that. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He has trampled out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. That was the North. And then glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. That was the tune. So you can, play it. And then, very often you hear it played like this. that's my bluesy, jazzy version of Glory Hallelujah. Hope you liked it. Super fun tune. Very easy. F. I'm doing an F, but 1, F. And it's mainly a pentatonic scale, like a lot of these tunes. 4, B flat. That's the interesting note. That's the Lydian. That's E natural. Back to F. 1, 1. Now I'm going to 2, 5, 1 to the relative minor, D minor, E minor, A7, D minor, and then I do a few other things. Bass, you could do interesting things. Bass goes down, F, and second inversion, and then typically it would be, let's say, G minor, 2, 5, 1, but you can do G7, 5 of 5, marching on, and then suspension, resolution, 4, 1, blues scale, and your bluesy patterns, and your kind of ending introduction things. Very fun tune. Very fun tune. There was another tune I was thinking of too. America. America. Was it? America, America, God shed His grace on thee. Just doing this by ear. Sea to shining sea. That's a pretty tune. These tunes are great just for ear training and to try to play a little game of transposing. This is an F, or what? Try to do it in C. I'm beautiful. That's wrong. C. For spacious sky, for amber ways of grain. And then let's see, if I did it a couple times, I'd get those clinkers out of it. See, I make mistakes. Isn't that incredible? It's fun. It's fun to kind of try different keys. E flat. I'm beautiful for spacious skies, for amber ways of grain. What's another key? I don't know. G. Fun stuff to do. Okay. Once I get on a little, I don't know. I get like a wild hair about something, and it kind of nags me until I really understand it. And as you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I've been interested in tetrachords, all kinds of tetrachords. Typically, the tetrachords we look at are the perfect fourths, but you can have different kinds. You can have ones that are bound by diminished fourths or augmented fourths. The augmented fourths are interesting me right now, and you wonder, well, what is that and why should I care? Well, because they're diatonic to a harmonic minor scale, and if you're playing in a minor key, it's sure good to know what the notes are and be able to grab these sounds. And more importantly, trying to figure out ways to learn things that are seemingly difficult. So how do you do that? Well, you do it by trying to build on things that you already know, and maybe easier things. So what I was going to do is just talk a little bit about some of these augmented tetrachords and why they're important and how to find them, and also just some kind of easy backdoor ways to find them. And I'm going to turn on my little board here. So if you, again, I'm just gonna use the key of A minor, just because. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and then we're back to A again. That's an A harmonic minor scale. Okay, and if I take these groups of 4 notes, those are our tetrachords. Okay, and the ones I'm particularly interested in, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just rewrite this real quick because I want the scale to continue, because I want to be able to show the tetrachords. I want to be able to show the tetrachords at the end of the scale. What did I do? Did I make 6 lines? Oy, okay, 5 lines. I'm getting tired. All right, A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and then we're back to A, and then we got B, C, D, E. Okay, how's that? Oh, that should be good enough. So that's that again. That's A harmonic minor. All right, and the tetrachords I'm interested in, the groups of 4 notes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm interested in the ones that are built on the 4, 5, and 6 for now, anyway. So 4, D, E, F, G sharp. Okay, that's an augmented 4th right there. All right. Why is it augmented? Well, because D, E, F, G. G is the 4th note in the key of D, so G sharp is raised. That's augmented. Then we have this one here. Now that is not an augmented 4th. That is actually that is a perfect 4th. So I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. But this guy over here is very interesting. What am I doing? Wait. Did I do that right? Yeah. This one. That one right there. F, G sharp, A, B. F, G sharp, A, B. That's very interesting, as well as what we have here. E, D. I think I wrote on my piano. Ugh. D, E, F, G sharp, right? And notice again, I'm going in alphabetical order. They're always steps, space line, space line. That's how you do your spelling, okay? So I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this. And I'm somewhat interested in this, the one in the middle there, but I'm interested in the ones that are adjacent to the 5. I'm interested in the 4, and I'm interested in the 6. Now, I could be interested in this. That's somewhat interesting. G sharp, A, B, C. That is a diminished 4th. Why is that diminished? Well, in the key of G sharp, C sharp is the 4th note, and if you lower it a half step, it becomes diminished. G sharp, A, B, C. That's kind of interesting as well. But those shapes. Now notice I'm playing the tetrachords in the key A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. That's minor. B, C, D, E, that's Phrygian. C, D, E, F, that's major. Yes, that's right, major. Okay. Then here's your augmented. D, E, F, G sharp. And then this is harmonic. E, F, G sharp, A. It sounds funky, but it's built on a perfect 4th. Then another F, G sharp, A, B. And then G sharp, A, B, C. That's diminished. And then we're back to the minor. Typically, we wouldn't play that scale as a melody, but it's important to be able to get under your hands So you kind of know you have this shape in your hands that you're kind of grabbing onto, right? So what's an easier way to find that? Well, what's a possible way to find that? Well, I'll show you. It's kind of interesting. You can take that scale and think of it as a chord. I'll write it again: A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and A, B. I'll just kind of write it over here: C, A, B, C. If you look at these notes: D, F, G sharp, B, D, F, G sharp, and what did I say here? G, A, yeah, B's on the line, right? B, okay? Notice the spelling of those. Here's a skip, right? Here is a skip. Here's a step, right? What does that tell you? It tells you that chord is in an inversion. It's not in root position, okay? And it happens to be the root position chord is G sharp, B, D, F. Right? Anyone know what chord that is? Does anyone actually know what chord that is? G sharp, B, D, F. But that is a diminished 7 chord. That's G sharp, right? Minor third, G sharp to B, B to D, D to F. That's G sharp diminished 7, okay? Here we have the same chord, but in an inversion. So if you take that G sharp chord and you play it in second inversion, okay? Second inversion would be written like that. And then you can see that these augmented tetrachords are built on the D, all right? They're also built on the F, right? So that's where they're kind of built on. That should help you to just find them. Now, this tetrachord, if you take a minor tetrachord, D, and you raise the top note a half step, now you get the augmented tetrachord, and that's that augmented second on the top. D, E, F, G sharp. That is an augmented second, and that's important to know. That's important to realize. That's on the top of that. Now, if I do this, the augmented second is on the bottom, okay? Augmented second, half step, whole step, as opposed to whole step, half step, augmented second. In either case, isn't that interesting? And this is kind of interesting up here. If you raise this up a half step, you get a minor tetrachord here. So in order to find that augmented, you'd lower the lower note a half step, whereas here you would raise it a half step. Isn't that interesting? From minor to the augmented, right? From minor to the augmented. So this is the note that shouldn't be there, right? The F sharp. Those are just some tricks that I found to kind of get at these a little bit easier and try to make them stick in my head. So let's play a little game like I already know how to make a major. Okay, so let's take our C for a second. So here's C. Here's minor. Okay, so there's a minor. Now, if I want the augmented, raising it up, okay, that's the augmented second on top, or half step below, that's the augmented second on the bottom, right? And that's how I found it, okay? C flat, D, E flat, F. That's how you, excuse me, what did I say? C flat, D, yeah, E flat, F. That's how you find it, okay? Or we did that, C, D, E flat, F sharp, again, alphabetical order, right? Let's take another one, A minor, right? If I go up a half step, there's my augmented second, A, B, C, D sharp, not E flat. Back down, bring this down a half step, here, A flat, B, C, D, right? That's how I would typically find it. Now, A flat is the sixth note of what minor scale? Well, C minor. So that is how you'd quickly get to that tetrachord. B is the seventh note in C minor, right? Here's what we're doing here. The seventh would be a diminished, actually, but that's from the seventh. Sixth, and then the fourth. Well, that's what I was looking for. Got a little brain fart there for a second. To do it on the fourth degree of the scale, yeah, that's it. There we go. Right. So how did I get that? Well, this is minor. If I raise this a half step, now I have my augmented tetrachord. So in the key of C, F is 4 and A flat is 6, all right? And A minor, A flat, right? To find the sixth, you start a half step up and go to half step down. To find the fourth, you can actually just start on the 4 with a minor tetrachord and then go up a half step. But that's kind of how I find it. I hope I'm not getting into the weeds too much here, but I just find these really so interesting, and they're so neglected, and they're incredibly important. Remember the meat and potatoes of learning jazz and learning how to play is you got to learn your scales, you got to learn your diatonic triads. Learn my diatonic triads. That's it. Okay, and then learning seven chords, diatonic seventh chords. And then learning the inversions of those chords, each one. I mean, I'm just sort of flying through this, but these are all things that you really have to know. But usually people, if they do learn that ever, they stop there. They don't actually learn how to make tetrachords. Here, I played the wrong note there. I mean, you should be able to kind of feel the scale, almost like you're climbing like a rope in gym class, those big fat ropes, and you can stick your hand around it. If you start thinking too much in terms of notes, it's just, to me, it's harder. It's just harder. You have to think more in terms of textures and it's just more of a visceral type way, more of a tactile way to remember things than thinking one note at a time. I just think there's just too much effort and too much emphasis on one note. People are so frightened of anything that might sound a little dissonant. I mean, you'll be grabbing these sounds. You have to kind of get that in your ear. Those are just clusters of notes. Those are the four notes all played at the same time. That's just incredibly neglected. So anyway, if you guys have any questions during the week, please feel free to give me a holler, and I will, do my best to get back to you, since I'm just absolutely flooded with emails. Haha. Okay, well, we're kind of winding down, so I'm going to kind of say my goodbyes here, and maybe just play us out, and Cousins signing off. See you next time.